What's going on, good people? This is your boy, Fat Daddy Enforcer. Yes, the name changed. Yes, the content changed, but it's still me. So, as you can read, top five Thursdays. This is what I'm going to do every Thursday. Yes, and my first topic is NFL Scariest Safeties. Only five of them, but I do got three, maybe four honorable mentions. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go with the new intro. Peace. What's going on, good people? I am back. We was under construction. As you can see, everything changed, but the energy's still here. I'm your boy Fat Daddy Enforcer. And like I said, we are talking about NFL scariest safeties. Now, this is a random top five that I could think of because there's a lot of scary safeties. I am going to do a future show on shutdown corners. I am going to do a future on scariest linebackers. The two positions that are scary, I'm telling you. And then I'm going to do other content with hip hop and wrestling and gaming. But this is the first thing I'm going to do because for some reason I have safeties on my mind. And I'm going to start with a scary safety. I'm an 80s baby. And the first scary safety I'm going to talk about is Mr. Ronnie Lott. Mr. Ronnie Lott, who actually started as a corner from the great University of USC. Uh, he transitioned to safety. If I'm not mistaken, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he got into the Pro Bowl in all positions. I think he's the first man or the second, but I know it's somebody else that did it. But I'm not talking about his coverage. I'm talking about laying you the fuck out and enjoy it. Like, what's the most scariest thing about Mr. Ronnie Lott? Two things. Two things. Two things that's scary about Mr. Ronnie Lott. One is this motherfucker amputated his finger during the game to go back in the game. That man's crazy. But like you said, you gotta be a little crazy to play this game at NFL. And the second thing, in the biggest game of all, everybody know in 1988 there was a little thing called the Icky Shuffle, and it was popular, and he was doing it, doing it, and he thought he was doing the Super Bowl. Until he ran to Mr. Ronnie Lott and cooled his jets. And he hasn't been the same ever since. I think that one only year he went over 1,000 yards, and it was done deal for that. Ronnie Lott, after winning four Super Bowls with the 49ers, he played I think 2 seasons with the Raiders. He played 2 seasons with the Jets. He did go to the Chiefs, but he retired. He did not even suit up for the Chiefs. So Ronnie Lott's my first one. But if you go anywhere that can go side by side, if he's in the NFC, who's the scariest safety in the AFC? Well, that would be Mr. Steve Atwaters. Mr. Steve Atwaters didn't give a fuck if he hit you or his teammates. And we got another person that does that on this list too. But Steve Atwaters was one of the hardest hitting safeties that if you don't remember anything about Denver except for John Elway, you go remember Steve Atwaters. Steve Atwaters also played in a couple Super Bowls. He did not win, but when he did finally get that ring, the most memorable thing I can remember is this man, while Brett Favre was driving in this Super Bowl, he laid his own teammate out just to knock the shit out of Antonio Freeman. And yes, one thing I can tell you, I think he played his whole career in Denver. He is a Hall of Famer. That's two Hall of Famers I just showed you. But I'm going to tell you, the next person, I'm a Giant fan. I am not afraid to admit that. But I am going to tell you something else I'm not afraid to admit. I was terrified of this guy that they call the Wolverine, Brian Dawkins. Brian Dawkins probably didn't get you in height, but as you can see, this man was psycho killer Norman Bates in on the field. Uh, Came out just like that, crawled to the ring, well, you might still call the ring, but crawled to the field and laid it all out. That's why as a football fan, I respect my opponents and other teams. I'm a football fan too. I'm a Giant fan, but I'm a football fan too, and that's the Eagles. But we're not talking. I'm being biased today. But if anybody want to question Brian Dawkins, go to the I think it was the 2002 playoffs. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Michael Victor, he had a touchdown until he met the Wolverine. Yeah, Brian Dawkins. I think he played 10 years with the Eagles. But he finished his career in Denver. Same energy. He's I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame, but he's definitely in the Ring of Honor or whatever they call it in the Eagles. He's definitely there. I remember they honored him because uh, I watched that game and the secondary went all out just like him in that game. So shout out to Brian Dawkins. My next guy, number four, is one of the anchors of the Legion of Boom, Virginia Tech own Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor did not play no games. Okay, so you had two talented corners on the outside, and you had him. I forgot the other guy. That's how good he is. I forgot the other guy. But the Legion of Boom brought it. If anything, the Legion of Boom and the linebacker core of the Seahawks is the reason why they won the Super Bowl in MetLife Stadium in a blowout, and he's one of them. Cam Chancellor did not play no games. If you come across that middle, he's gonna lay you out, and if you overthrow your receiver, he's gonna pick it off. He was one of the scariest guys, just like Brian Dawkins. And I tell you this: if he was healthy, he probably would have had at least 3 more years. Uh, do I see Hall of Fame in him? Yes, I do. Uh, but if anybody want to question him, if you're a 49 fan, please don't be mad at what I'm about to do. When I saw this hit, I knew there was a change coming in Seattle. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And number five, uh, one of the anchors of the secondary in the Tampa 2, they used to call it, John Lynch. John Lynch, remember I said about Steve Atwater? The same thing I say with John Lynch. John Lynch will knock you the fuck out. And if you got the same uniform as him, he will do the same thing to them. he 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 brings it. Okay. John Lynch also won a Super Bowl. That great Super Bowl against the Raiders. I used to call it the Pirate Bowl because it was the Buccaneers against the Raiders. But if you go watch the highlights or the NFL film footage of that Super Bowl with him mic'd up, this man was calling every fucking play, every play. And what's scary is he was not just crazy, he was smart crazy. Does that make sense? But John Lynch deserves a spot. This is just top five off the top of my head. I didn't think about nothing. I just know I remember people were scared of these guys. Yes, he got drafted with the Bucks, he won Super Bowl with the Bucks. He did play. This is why I put this up here. He laid Dallas Clark the fuck out in Denver. Um, but he did play in Denver for a couple of seasons, and he also played with the Patriots. That's my top five. But you want, I got honorable mentions. I only can show you three, but I actually have four. So the one I don't have right now, because I want to put it up here, Bob Sanders for the Indianapolis Colts. Bob Sanders, probably the most undersized, one of the most undersized safeties, but he could lay the wood. He was the heart and soul of that, at least one of the heart and souls of that Colts defense, besides Dwight Freeney. But on the second day, Mr. Sanders, you want to know where he was at all times. I think he also won the Defensive Player of the Year. But if I got some pictures for you for the next three. The next three, the next three. They call him an assassin. Passing New Jersey or playing from New Jersey. I think it's playing from New Jersey. Stand the fuck up. You're talking about Jack Tatum. Jack Tatum name still rings bells for three reasons. One, the most devastating hit in Super Bowl history. He laid Sammy White, I think his name was, the fuck out. The most gruesome hit in NFL Super Bowl history was by Jack Tatum. Second, Jack Tatum was not afraid to hit no one. Ask Earl Campbell. Even though Earl Campbell scored a touchdown, he landed awkwardly past that touchdown. And three, if you haven't heard, it was something he did in the preseason game where he got this dude in a wheelchair for life. But I'm not gonna go into that. But Jack Tatum was a scary safety for the Oakland Raiders. Oakland Raiders. Oakland Raiders. Next person, God rest his soul, John Taylor. I'm gonna go before the NFL. He was scary with the U. With the U. If you don't know what the U is, good Lord, where have you been? Talking about Miami Hurricanes. This guy shared the defensive backfield with the next person I have, but we're gonna stay with Sean Taylor right now. Sean Taylor, even though he was the Washington Redskins, he was still the heart and soul of that secondary. And the scariest. You cross that field, he will lay you the fuck out. And you don't think he takes that seriously. Go watch the Pro Bowl when that punter decided he go do a fake punt. And Sean Taylor said this, I know we at Hawaii. I know this. I know we here with the family. I know this. But I'm gonna leave you out today. And he laid him the fuck out. Sean Taylor, still one of the most scariest people, scariest safeties in NFL history. And when I say his teammate, his Miami University teammate, how you gonna forget Mr. Ed Reed? Ed Reed was he was scary in two parts. One, he was a ball hawk. He was a ball hawk. And two, if you can't get the ball, he's gonna lay your ass out. Point blank, period. Ain't scared of shit. He was in charge of the secondary while Ray Lewis was in charge of the linebacker of the box. It was a scary defense. The Ravens always had a scary defense. But when they drafted that guy right here, Ed Reed, it was a whole different story. And that's all I got for you. Excuse me. That's all I got for you. So this is my top 5 Thursdays show, which was NFL Scariest Safeties. I don't know what's next, but we'll find out next Thursday. Shall we? Shall we? So again, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for just hear my output on this. If you got any safeties that you deem should be on the list, or you've got your own top 5, put in the comments. And also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notary bell. When I come on here, you'll know what's happening. And I must bid you adieu. I am Fat Daddy Enforcer, Mr. Attention Getter. Yes, this is Self-Made Podcast. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.